on the subject of contempt, Robert, it's one of the stories you read, and you just can't believe it. It's now I'm going to forget where it was. It was jury selection in what state was it again?
I don't remember the state.
Tabarnouche. I'll get it when we talk about it. Jury selection, and there's no mask mandate. I'm going to have to go to Twitter and see. No mask mandate in this particular state. The judge, who has a propensity, a proclivity, a fetish, insists that prospective jury members, even though there's no mandate that's been lifted in the state, wear their damn mask when addressing His Highness. And one prospective juror, they had not even impaneled the jury. They hadn't even gotten down to like any meaningful selection. I guess he refused to wear the mask. I'm going to pull up the highlight from this. Refused to wear the mask and was.
I think the state was North Carolina, which sounds right.
That sounds right. Okay, good. Was found. The judge held him in contempt, put him in jail for 24 hours. This man, for anybody who thinks 24 hours in jail is it's nothing, it's hunky dory. It's a paid holiday away from the kids. He had a minor kid at home, didn't know what time it was, locked away for 24 hours for contempt for not putting on a face mask when the judge ordered him to, in the absence of any statewide mandate. He was on Tucker Carlson. Robert, are there details that we're missing that are going to come out to make sense of this story, or have we just gone off the deep end?
Well, it's what a lot of, I mean, the big question is always what happens when it's the judge violating your civil rights? Because technically you go back to that same judge. It's a flaw in our system. And this was my concern all the way along. Like, you had court systems complicit in vaccine mandates and mask mandates and social distancing mandates. And it's like, well, how are you going to adjudicate a civil rights suit about mask mandates, vaccine mandates, or social distancing mandates when you're complicit in it? When by you're judging one side, them guilty, you would have to adjudge yourself guilty. So we didn't. I mean, there are many courts where we had no judges available practically that weren't completely conflicted. And so I think this judge violated his civil rights in the way he went about it. Almost impossible to sue a judge. We create all these special immunities for judges, which I disagree with. And they abuse and all it does is encourage abuse of their power. They only step down when they get enough blowback in the court of public opinion to do anything about it. And if the higher courts are with them on the area of prejudice, they encourage it, reward it, and often incentivize it. So that's what we're seeing is what happens when the courts are the ones violating our rights. And it's something that needs to be looked at from a structural perspective. Some means of challenging the court's misbehavior and rights violations without having to resort to those same courts for remedy.
Robert, first of all, it was North Carolina. The judge was appointed by former Democratic Governor Bev Perdue. I don't know what. So
what a shock! Total shock. He's a Democratic judge.
So, but an appointed
he's another one
judge,
of these nut house. Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. I've been in front of courts that were demanding I disclose whether I was vaccinated or not, demanding I wear those ludicrous masks. Man, I had to wear it in a certain way. And I was put in a position where, okay, you have to protect your client's interests first. So you can't necessarily litigate your personal cause in that context. But there are other courts that are actually mandating vaccines as a condition of access to the courts. So it's like, okay, we want to sue, but we have to sue in that same courthouse. It's a flaw, a bad flaw in the system. When the courts abuse power, there needs to be a remedy outside of the courts for that.
I'm trying to see how old the judge is. But either if a judge is appointed, the only way the judge can be removed from the bench legally is impeachment, correct? There's no other method?
It depends on the state, but if they're elected, then sometimes that election, but otherwise usually only impeachment.
I can't find the age. I saw one who was said to be 100 years old, but that's because the person had died in 1999. I read that story, and it's on Fox News, and it's not that, it's Fox, so I don't trust it. It's the media, so I say maybe there's something more. Maybe this guy flipped the bird to the judge, and he's not telling that side of the story to Tucker Carlson, and we'll find something out by way of fact that can possibly make sense of the insanity. But thus far, the guy was on Tucker. Fox News ran the article, allegedly jailed for not wearing the mask, denied his phone call, denied even to let his minor kid know that he was in jail, and then released the next day. So if there's no other facts that are going to make sense of this, that this guy didn't say to Tucker Carlson, madness.
Yeah. And sometimes you can sue the law enforcement involved because law enforcement assumes they're acting at the direction of a judge that they're immune. That isn't always the case. If there's reasons to believe it's a facially invalid request, the law enforcement officer can be sued as well. So hopefully they seek some sort of legal relief and remedy, and go maybe to a different courthouse somehow to get it, maybe a federal court rather than state court. Because it's part of a burgeoning problem. The court's complicity in a lot of these mandates made them partial and prejudicial and conflicted adjudicators of this in comparable context.
And now there are a bunch of Rumble rants. I can't highlight them, and that has to be a function they're going to fix soon. But I'm
either way, we'll get to all of them in a recorded video.
Yeah, absolutely.
So keep sending them in. Keep sending those Rumble rants.
Well, there's one that says, I don't need, it's a $50 Rumble rant from Medic Deb, says, I don't need to have an opinion to donate to this channel. I do so because I respect the content and trust the host. I feel that I should be able to send money without an opinion. God bless you. Thank you. There's two things. I love being called brother, and I love it when people say, God bless you.